how did you go from being the remote job coach into the founder of Unlocked Authority?
Yeah, the remote job coach died. He no, he never died. He just he evolved. I think there was an interesting crossroads in my career that I noticed. I'd been doing career coaching and helping people find remote jobs for 4 or 5 years. And that was really rewarding. It was awesome because you got to see people people's lives change, you know. There was something really just deeply fulfilling about someone who wanted to go work remotely to be closer to their family or to be able to travel the world or to be able to do X, Y, and Z on their bucket list. And being able to have locational freedom makes a lot of that possible. And when I started that journey of becoming the remote job coach, there was a lot of experience that I had had working remotely and how much it had changed my life. And so it was incredible. And so I did that for many years, and then I built this YouTube channel and I wrote a book and did all these things to like invest in that brand. And then it was really funny because as soon as I like released the book, that was about the time when I was like, all right, I need to find a new career. So I spent like 2 years writing this book about how to find a remote job. And then immediately after I was like, I think I'm done with this. And interestingly enough, I think the main motivations there were around the conversations that I was having every day, the natural difficulty of working in that industry where I kind of saw a lot of things going. So I can kind of break that down. I mean, number one, it was like working with job seekers is difficult. One is they're very price sensitive, usually, as a whole. You know, they're price sensitive because a lot of people don't have a job and they're looking for a job. So they're looking for a lot of free resources, or they're looking for ways to find employment without paying for it. So when you're a coach for these types of people, you really have to explain the benefit of them hiring someone when they maybe would have to go in debt or they'd have to spend some of the last amounts of their money. And that never feels good either on my end of being like, hey, you should spend your last amount of money on this. And I would never tell people that. It was just like, hey, there's an investment that you can make in this process to make the success potentially more inevitable. But it's always on that person too. And so over time, what I realized was that the more successful I was with people, the quicker that they'd leave, right, and never need me again. So the whole point of being a job coach is like once someone finds a job and is actually successful, you don't have a customer anymore. So when I was thinking about making this shift, I was thinking one about my creative past. I'd been creating for 20 plus years. I've been doing videos for a long time. I've been writing. I was a rapper in high school for a bit. I had a MySpace page for rap that I told people intentionally that I didn't know who that guy was. So there's different ways that creativity has come into my life at different times, and I think it's always great if you could find something that you really enjoyed doing when you were a kid and involve it somehow in your current work. And that's really kind of how it came about. Was I knew that the next phase of what I was going to do was going to be in the creative realm. It was either going to be helping people create content, or it was going to be um, some sort of creative role on a team. I really didn't know what it was. And I went through almost a year of like prepping to kind of leave the remote job coach brand behind to make that happen. So it was actually quite calculated and did take some time, even though it might have appeared that just like one day I switched.